Lippert is a principal in financial advisory services, True Point Incorporated. Principal of True Point Incorporated, a fee-only wealth advisory firm. Vice President, Soundview Technology Group, Old Greenwich, Connecticut. Legislative Assistant to U.S. Representative Rob Portman, Washington, D.C. Master of Business Administration and Finance from the Kogod School?
American University at Kogod.
American, okay. And a certified financial planner. That's Mr. Wayne Lippert. Thank you.
You know, I'm running for council because I want to make Cincinnati a better place to live for our families. You know, I spent about 10 years living outside the city, and it really made me appreciate it for everything it has to offer. You know, I want to build on the strengths of our city and move us forward, but we're at an important point in our city's future, and I believe we're moving forward with a set of misguided priorities. In my view, our focus should be on three things: a structurally balanced budget, creating and retaining jobs, and keeping our streets safe. And with regard to the budget, what should we do to solve this budget crisis? We need to examine structural changes within our government, such as the consolidation of city-county agencies where there's overlap, and the privatization of certain city services. But most importantly, we can't afford to raise taxes because that will just drive more businesses and more residents out. Ultimately, job creation will help support our city's financial position because it'll increase our tax base. I support the role of the Port Authority as the primary economic development driver in our city. I believe we need financial, real estate, and business professionals all driving job creation efforts. The port's key because it's outside the city government bureaucracy, and we know how hard it is to get things done down at City Hall. But for the port to be successful, it must maintain a consistent revenue stream and attract key talent. Finally, public safety is a core city service, and we must maintain it as a priority. Families and businesses do not want to live or operate in a city that's not safe. We must maintain a strong police force with as many officers on the street as possible. And as a result, I do not support police layoffs. You know, it's exciting. We've got a new chief in town, and I applaud his efforts with regard to talking about finding efficiencies in the police budget and his focus on targeting policing. I look forward to taking your questions. Well, I think it was a fairly unique moment, my appointment. You know, Jeff was a Democrat, and he gave Chris Bortz, who's a Charterite, the power to choose a successor, and together they've chosen me, an endorsed Republican that was already running for council. So I feel like I've distinguished myself as a reliable vote against taxes, as a person against police layoffs, and most recently I rolled out a program to help the government do more with less, allowing private citizens clean up lots that need to be abated, particularly in 3 targeted communities throughout the area. And again, it's an example of citizens empowering themselves, taking matters into their own hands, and allowing for them to pick up where the government needs to take off. I agree with Councilmember Bortz, first and foremost. I think 100% of those casino revenues should go to the port. I mean, the port is proven to be successful, not in one neighborhood, not in 2 neighborhoods, but across the entire region. So I think the entire casino revenues that come in should go to fund the port and the port's projects. The second question was with regard to the budget. I think we should look at all areas. I think a perfect example is 911 systems, first and foremost. The county and the city have separate 911 systems. I think we should look at efficiently consolidating and merging those. I think we should look at departments such as the Department of Transportation and Engineering, privatizing that department. The city of Cleveland has done it very successfully, and I think it's time for everything to be on the table and take a hard look.
You mentioned being a financial planner and structurally balancing the budget, but no new taxes or no more taxes. Are there any specific money-generating things that you would agree to?
Well, one way I'd like to see is if we could generate some additional investment return. I know my colleague introduced a budget motion that looked at some different investment return projections within the city. But in terms of revenue generation, I don't think the city really has a revenue problem, to be honest. We've got a spending problem. We need to curtail spending on programs that are outside of our core city services and focus on funding our basic services like police and fire, sanitation, and road cleanup. So in my view, the city doesn't have a revenue problem. We've got a spending problem. My name is Wayne Lippert. I hope you allow me to continue my work on council by giving me your support in November. I want to continue to build on the assets that we have in our great city. I want to fight for a structurally balanced budget, promote policies that create and retain jobs in our city, and also make public safety a priority in our city by keeping our streets safe and stopping police layoffs. So I hope to have your support in November. Again, my name is Wayne Lippert.